Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Venkib117, and today we're doing a Q&A, but not just any Q&A, my 300 subscriber Q&A. Now, if you're wondering at this point what the fuck does Q&A mean, it means questions and answers. You ask me questions and I answer. Now, I posted a video about this about 2 weeks ago, saying that I would be doing it in a few days. And it's been 2 weeks. Yeah. So the reason for this is because I had a few personal issues I had to get over, and just when I thought it was done, my Xbox 360 controller decided to fuck up, which means that when I play Dark Souls and Darksiders, two games that I use controllers for, I'm going to be shit all of a sudden. Oh, and let's not forget the fact that I actually did record this episode, and then it fucked up, so I'm having to redo the entire Q&A, and that was hours upon hours of editing work, so a little bit annoying. But yeah, we're finally here, and you guys sent in some very interesting questions, so thank you to everyone who participated for giving me these amazing questions, because this is going to be a very interesting Q&A. It is going to be sort of long, because there were a lot of questions, but yeah. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, so to start us off, Mario Dr. Pick asks, do you think that you make good videos?
It's a trap!
Oh boy, I do not think there is a right way to answer that question. So, if I say yes, I come across as a cocky bastard. If I say no, I come across as a whiny bastard. Either way, I'm the bastard here when I answer this question. So I'm going to go with the neutral path, which is, you know, the most honest anyway, and say that I don't know. I'd say my video quality has definitely got better since I started YouTube. It's only got better with time. From the games I play, to my editing, to the way I talk and interact with you guys, I've definitely gotten a lot better. But I don't know if my videos are good, because people don't really give me that much feedback, so it's, you know, I'm kind of just winging it and hoping for the best. I'd like to think my videos are entertaining, I'd like to think that I'm doing a good job, but I honestly don't know the answer. Jeff Brooks asks, if you were in a nice Italian restaurant and you had the choice between lasagna or spaghetti bolognese, what would you pick? See, I like both. I do prefer lasagna in most cases, but I love both, so I guess it would depend, because I've never actually been to an Italian restaurant, but I have had lasagna at a restaurant before. And that said, I don't think I've ever had spaghetti bolognese at a restaurant. Authentic Italian spaghetti bolognese with meatballs, for example, would be quite nice. So, I reckon if it was my first time, I'd probably have spaghetti bolognese with meatballs. But, yeah, majority of the time, I'd probably go with lasagna. James Beatty of Beatty Does Gaming asks, my question is, what made you want to be a YouTube gamer? Well, I'd say there are a few things. First off, I've always loved video games. Ever since I was a kid, I just adored video games. I'd sit there playing, and it would help me get past all my anger, and my sadness, and my depression. It would just help me to distract myself from my problems, and I think every now and again, people do need that. I was in the depths of a particularly bad depression when I was, you know, a younger teenager, maybe 15 or 16, and that's when I discovered my first Let's Player. And I do believe it was Markiplier, so it was fairly towards the beginning of his channel. And he was just awesome in every way, you know, he cared about his community. He loved the people who subscribed to him, and I thought that was amazing. And the more I watched, the more I loved his content. It made me smile, and when you're depressed, smiling really does help, if it's genuine at least. And the smile I had when watching Markiplier's videos were definitely genuine. So, I continued watching and getting happier, and I reflected on it. I wanted to be able to do that as well, to give that gift to other people, to help them smile when they're having a bad day or when they're depressed. Not necessarily pull them away from suicide, I don't think I'm a good enough YouTuber to have that power, but to give them a little smile or a little chuckle, just to help them on their way. And I think that's the purpose of my YouTube channel, and that's why I started. Another one from Jeff Brooks. Here's another good one. You're taking a new date out for a meal, you pick an upper-class steakhouse as a surprise. When they get there, they frown saying that they are a vegan, and they seem very upset. How would you defuse the situation? Everyone has different beliefs, and that's something I can respect. So if that happened, I would offer to take her somewhere else. I'd say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you're a vegan, I'm really sorry for offending you, we can go somewhere else. And I wouldn't be offended by her offense. I wouldn't be pissed off or annoyed, I'd just be like, okay, that's fine, we'll go somewhere else. From there, it really splits into two different paths. You've got the vegans, like in every group, you've got the ones that are nice and you've got the ones that are bitchy. If she was bitchy, she'd try and force her lifestyle upon me, and I'd just be like, no, sorry, this isn't going anywhere. I'd tell her as such, and that'd be the end of it. But if it were, you know, a nice person who understood, we'd probably finish and have a very nice date, and I think, like with any other person, it could go quite well. Rob2000 asks, how big is the sun times the size of my penis? While I'm glad you didn't give me a measurement on how big your penis is, that really plays a factor in the math here. Every inch counts when it comes to me trying to measure how big the sun is times the size of your penis. This is not a question that I can answer, and even if I could, I think I'd be a little uncomfortable trying. Amy Pelletier asks, what's been the most challenging thing with YouTube for you? Probably confidence. The editing has been challenging, and, you know, trying to reach out to my community has been a pain in the ass, but I'd say confidence, because I don't really get all that many comments on my channel, so I don't know if I'm doing a good job. I'm constantly second-guessing myself. So, yeah, I'd say confidence is the biggest challenge I've ever had to face, in life in general, and definitely with YouTube. Amikea23 asks, if YouTube wasn't around, what would you be doing with your time instead of making videos?
I'd like to see the world for once, all standing cock in hand, and hear them jerk it far and wide, straight just throughout the land.
Bonbon Delight asks, what was your first video game that you played? If you can't remember, what 5 video games did you truly enjoy playing? Well, both of those questions are fairly difficult to answer, but I'm going to go ahead and take a whack at both of them. First, what was the first game I ever played? Well, that's difficult. See, we had an SNES and a PlayStation when I was a kid, and I was about 3 years old when I had my first memories of playing video games. I remember playing the Need for Speed game that was on the PlayStation, I remember playing Tekken and Battle Area Toshiden, I played Street Fighter for the SNES, Mortal Kombat, so there were a lot of games, and I don't remember which one came first. But I do remember a lot of talk of Tekken, so it was probably Tekken. And as for, you know, what are my top 5 games? In no particular order, I'd say first off, LEGO Universe, although this one is definitely the highest on my list. LEGO Universe was extremely underrated. Its spiritual successor is LEGO Worlds, and that looks pretty good, but LEGO Universe was the best game I've ever played. To this day, I've never played a game that I enjoyed half as much as LEGO Universe. It was astonishing. It wasn't so much the graphics or the gameplay as the adventure. I created a character and I took him out for a spin. And even though it was a subscription game, it was a full MMO, I was okay with paying that subscription because it was an amazing game and I miss it a great deal. Second, Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. Dark Souls is amazing. The story to it is awesome. You know, and it's open to interpretation as well. There's a lot of fan theories, and you have to theorize to try and get the full story of Dark Souls. But more than that, the gameplay, the challenge, I think it's an amazing experience, and I think everyone should play Dark Souls at least once. If you don't like it, that's fine, but you should definitely give it a go, because once you've figured out how to play the game and get past a couple of bosses, it's a very interesting story, and I definitely recommend it to anyone. Third, and this is probably like my number 2 spot for games of all time, would be Fable The Lost Chapters. Now this was for the Xbox original. I don't know if it was for any other consoles. I know it's on PC, I think it's on Steam. But Fable The Lost Chapters was essentially the original Fable game with an expansion pack attached, and it was the best game for the fucking Xbox original. I loved that game. Nothing about it turned me off. I guess there was a lot of controversy because you couldn't play as a girl in the original Fable, but aside from that, the entire experience was just truly amazing. The game was brilliant. It was revolutionary for its time. Nothing like that had been done before in such high detail, and I think everybody really loved it. The Fable series kind of went downhill from there. Fable, you know, Fable The Lost Chapters was the best Fable game of all time. Fable 2... it was okay, it was good, it was a good game. Fable 3 was just utter garbage, and don't even get me started on whatever that one with the Kinect was. Like, you had to have the Kinect to play it. That one pisses me off, because they could have done something amazing with the story, but they made it a Kinect game, so... the Fable series went downhill, but the original, definitely one of my favourite games of all time. Next, Halo Reach. Now, the gameplay for Halo Reach was good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of people, you know, think it's pretty shit. I personally enjoyed it. But it wasn't so much the gameplay, and it wasn't so much the armor customization, which in itself was really good, as the fact that I had so much fun playing the custom games with all of my friends. We used to find these crazy maps, and we play them all the time, every day. We just sit there and we play these amazing custom games. And these were people I met online, but the connection we gained from playing these insane custom games was absolutely, indescribably amazing. To this day, I cannot think of a single game that had the custom game capabilities of Halo Reach. Even Gmod, which is renowned for its customizability, wasn't as good as Halo Reach in that respect, which is just astonishing when you think about it. I really miss the days when people used to play crazy custom games, and I'll probably set something like that up sometime in the future. And finally, The Sims 2. Now, I've always loved the Sims games. It was the first game I really enjoyed playing for the PC, and I guess it got me into PC gaming. It's what inspired me to try playing games on the PC. And The Sims 2 was amazing. I mean, I originally played The Sims, and when The Sims 2 came out, we loved it. We had to get it. And it was towards the end of The Sims 2, when The Sims 3 was already out, that we finally managed to get every single expansion pack. And my god, guys, with all of the expansion packs, the possibilities were insane. I created abominable creatures out of plant sims and werewolves and vampires and robots. I created fucked up hybrids, and it was awesome. And I had so much fun playing it. It was amazing. And, you know, I'd say this to anyone. The Sims game, like Dark Souls, the Sims games are worth taking a look at. The Sims 3 kind of killed it for me. Like The Sims 1, The Sims 3 didn't have any customizability when it came to the neighborhood. You couldn't build your own neighborhood, and that pissed me off. Whereas The Sims 2, you could make your entire neighborhood from scratch, and it was just awesome. So, yeah, I'd say The Sims 2 definitely takes the final spot on the list of my top 5 favorite games. Well guys, that's the end of this video. This Q&A is actually going to be in 2 parts. This is just part 1. There's another part to come. It's going to contain the rest of the questions. I've answered 10. There's another 12 for me to do. So they're all going to come in the next video, which is going to be really, really good. I figured if I did like a 20-minute video, people wouldn't really want to watch it, but if I did 2 like 10-15-minute videos, it'd probably go over a little bit better. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Look out for part 2. That is the end of this video. If you liked it, show it some love. You want more? Subscribe for more great content, and whatever you do, remember to keep on gaming. This is VenomKid117 signing out. See you later, hunters!